I still haven't got.
Yeah, we're live now. This
Yeah.
meeting is streaming.
Uh,
So,
Hi.
yeah.
oh,
So, hi,
yeah.
everyone.
Hi, folks.
How you all
Wave.
doing? Wave. Do you know, it's so hard to finish these calls without waving.
I know, so I always like,
You know, it's like, see ya. And I think, you know, if you think of like what the biggest change is going to be when we come out this period, it will be literally like, instead of people shaking hands when they end a meeting, everyone's just gonna be like waving in each other's faces.
I thought we would continue like this. We don't need that interaction.
No, I mean, I think we're getting that interaction anyway, really.
I've had 3 video calls in a row this morning. I'll be
know.
done. I want to be back to social distancing or whatever this afternoon.
I was like, yeah, if we could do a bit of virtual distancing, that'd be fantastic. That'd be amazing. So interesting. As we obviously we jump on the call and we get all settled in just before we go live, and everyone's got very interesting mugs today. So I'd like to just say Mark is not ill, but his mug's a man flu survivor mug.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and he hasn't been ill.
No, I'm fine.
Pam's lost all track of time, so she's got a Christmas mug. I'm so happy to be working from home that this is now my mug. I don't know if you can read that. I'll just hold that there for a second. So I held this up earlier and Amanda read it out. And then Pam said, yeah, you've got that sort of face. I was like, great. Thanks, Pam. So funny how she never says things like that when we are in the office together.
I'm just missing the rugby season, so I'm having a pint.
Squash.
Yeah.
We did the first week we were all at home. We did jump on a call. What were you drinking, Amanda?
Oh, I had a French martini. I was depressed. I'd made myself a little cocktail to zhuzh up the day a little bit. It helped.
It was only about 9:30 in the morning.
But isn't that the reason Jane's not here? Because it's gone 12 o'clock and she's now drinking gin.
She's on the gin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jane's had a bit of a tough week. I think between the putting up with us lots and this is our busiest week in the month as well. So it's been a bit of a challenge. Homeschooling two kids as well has, I think, we kind of said, don't worry, Jane.
You're allowed a pass.
Yeah. Whereas Emily's just skiving.
Yeah.
She's just made excuses, basically. She's on the chat, or she should be. So I'm sure she's leaving comments and things now.
Yeah,
that we
leave a
can't
comment
see.
if you're watching and say hi to Emily.
We've had another IT session this morning.
So
IT with Emily.
Yeah.
What was yours? Because I've had a little one as well.
It was email.
What's email with me too? She obviously went from me to you then, or you to me. I don't know. Oh, I shouldn't.
Don't take this the wrong way. It's not that we're crap with IT. Okay, it's just that. So I explained this to my husband last night because I've got a new microphone for my voice recorder thing. And the thing is, I'm just not good with the hard. I'm great with the software. I'm great with all the apps and the tools and all that kind of stuff. But actually, when it comes to just turning the computer on and off again, that's where I'm not so great. And I was trying to get a recording off of my my Zoom H1 onto the laptop, and I just couldn't get them to talk to each other. And I was ready to throw things out the window. But yeah, and I think Emily's kind of the same too. She's not good with settings, is she?
No. Turning it on and off nearly did work for her though.
Yeah. Although she gave you a science lesson in return the other day, didn't she?
She did, yeah. She pointed out that it is generally colder in the mornings and gets warmer throughout the day.
Because we call her Brainbox.
That's true. It's true. I call her the scientist now.
So we have.
And she can't even answer back at the minute either. This is brilliant.
This is fantastic. So if you get Social Snippet, or you've jumped on to our website and you've looked at Social Snippet before, you'll see there's I'm just like, whatever content I put in there, it's just Christina. But Emily, we have Emily's brain box, and it's kind of an in joke because she comes out with all these little we'll call them random facts. They are fact. It's just that she's pretty random.
She's
So-
saying that we're outrageous on Facebook.
Oh,
I
dear.
don't think so.
No, I think this is what she gets really for not
Yeah.
being here.
Yeah.
But
And-
equally, let's shift the focus, because this is live. It could be used as evidence against us. So let's shift the focus, because in the snippet, Pam also has a little section, doesn't she? Bamboozle.
Which is also a bit cheesy too.
And there's a bit of an in joke there as well. So Mark, I'll let you explain that one.
Oh, hold on. Phone.
Someone's ringing, Mark.
Was it Emily ringing Mark saying, "Stop having a go at me now"?
No, it's Mark C.
Oh, okay,
I'll have to ring him back.
cool.
Another one of our secret web people.
Yeah. The one that you'll definitely never see live.
No, we should invite him though. He might surprise us.
No, I don't think so. I better message him. Hold on.
He hides in a cupboard doing clever stuff.
He
Building
does.
websites in the background, doesn't he?
Yeah, cupboard down south.
But yeah, Pam's little entry is Pamboozled. And that's because of some of the choice words she uses in the office that always have us giggling. So bamboozled was one of them at one point. So that's where that came from. But what's some of the other words that you use, Pam?
No, I use a lot of like Shakespeare talk. I just like to point out it's not swear words that I use. It's just like random old-fashioned Shakespearean words that I tend to come out with. I don't know what they are, because I don't know I say them until somebody goes, "What?"
I bet Emily's there in the comments now, just like comment after comment, putting in some of the things that you've said.
Tis I. That was the one that my children go like, "What? Tis I? What? Tis I, children." Well, we know it's you, Mum. Yeah.
We haven't got kind of it's funny that you two have names. So Jane is posh because, well, she is. But yeah, me, Amanda and Mark, we haven't got sort of.
Well, we haven't got one from Andy yet. Me and you have got the things on the phone stuff. So you are the overlord.
I'm too new relatively still.
Yeah.
I'm not in the office enough for you to get to know me.
You've not had the same level of abuse.
Hang on, wait, what? I just want to rewind a minute there. Mark and Christina have got like names for each other?
No, on the phone thing at work.
Pam,
what?
This is another reason why it's bamboozled.
Okay, that's all right.
That's all right. Emily's.
To Jackie from team who is watching.
Oh, hi Jackie.
Hi Jackie.
Hi Jackie.
So actually, one of the things I did this morning was I joined. So people that are non-recruitment, team is the employment agency movement. So it's like an organisation for independent recruitment agencies. And we've done loads of work with them over the years, but they usually have like regional meetings once a quarter where recruiters get together and they talk about what's happening in the industry, sort of how the businesses are going, share best practice, that sort of stuff. Absolutely awesome. And a really nice bunch of people. But what they've been doing in place of their face-to-face meetings is that they're like, some of the regions are now having like weekly calls. So a bit like what we're doing here. I've joined a couple this week. You've joined some as well, haven't you, Amanda?
Yeah, I was just on one just before this with the South region. So sort of Basingstoke, Southampton, Hampshire, that West Sussex area. So it was nice. There's a lot of people. There's some light-hearted fun in there. There's a great bit when I think two of us both had dogs that decided they wanted to get into the shot. One of the guys brought his little baby grandchild. They were all isolating together, so they weren't visiting. But So yeah, that's what brought some light relief. There was obviously some serious chat in there about you know, business owners and what they could be doing, but yeah, it's just nice to kind of feel like there's other people out there. It's not just the people that are in your four walls at home.
And it's genuine support as well, isn't it? Because one of the things I was thinking we could talk a little bit about today is like mindset. So I'm not the kind of person that goes and meditates. Let's put it that way. I know I should, and I should drink more water, and I should have, you know, I don't know. I was going to say purer thoughts, but that doesn't say what I was intending it to say. Although not necessarily true either.
Probably time to stop.
Where's the stop button? But yeah, it's you know, when you're kind of feeling isolated, and even like you might have your kids and your other half and that kind of stuff, you still feel isolated.
I would agree.
It's really strange, and I know like my eldest daughter lives on her own, so you know, I've had a couple of calls with her where she's just like, you know, I haven't seen anybody, I have no one to talk, you know, and I get there is that real isolation, but I think even as individuals you still feel isolated, and I just wonder, what are people actively doing to, and I was talking to someone else yesterday, nothing to do with recruitment, someone that is in a property related area, let's say, and you know, the conversation over mindset. So what are you actively doing every day, other than our random chats that we have and our sort of nonsense conversations in Slack, but what are you guys doing to keep yourself on track, keep your normal processes that are like actually help keep you topped up, if you know what I mean? What you're doing?
Who wants to go first?
See, this is where you know this isn't rehearsed.
Yeah, I'll dive in. You know, this is kind of up my street anyway, looking after your mind and stuff. So, and I'm a feeler. So I don't not in a
what?
Not in a you need to avoid me way, but I feel a lot. You know, if I'm sad, I'm really sad. If I'm happy, I'm really happy. Yeah. Whereas Christina's like, ugh. So, but no, so people are kind of saying you should avoid watching the news. In some ways, I can't tear myself away from it, and it makes you feel really sad, and it's horrible what's happening. So in terms of kind of trying to look after self and keep yourself in the right space, and try not to watch the news too much, certainly not just before bed. You know, the worst thing to do first thing in the morning and last thing at night is to go on your phone. You know, I'm trying to stay in touch with everybody, but if I'm sitting there at night and I'm just scrolling through Twitter or the news channels, it is all doom and horrible stuff. You know, I'm not trying to pretend it's not happening, but it's not healthy. It's not healthy to be kind of, that's the last thing in your mind and then the first thing in your mind when you wake up. Other things I'm doing, I'm not getting too attached to an alarm clock. So I think now we're all working from home, and I've worked from home for quite a long time. And I used to always feel like I'd failed in some way if I wasn't up at 6 a.m. and having my coffee and meditating and doing a workout and everything else. I'm just trusting that my body is going to get enough sleep and it will wake me up when it needs to. And funnily enough, I still wake up at a normal, respectable time to start work. So you kind of lose some of the being hard on yourself, basically. So just be a little bit kinder to yourself, because it is kind of stressful. We're all trying to manage work, stay in touch with family, make sure, reaching out to everybody that we know. So just be a bit kinder to yourself. Things that I'm definitely doing that I would kind of do anyway, but keep me in normality, is walking the dog every day. That gets me out. I think probably there's a lot of people who are grateful for the fact they have got, four-legged friends they can take out. So yeah, all those kind of things, just try and keep as much of a routine as you can, but equally understand that this is not normal circumstances, so it's okay to flex. If I'm trying to avoid staying up till like 2 o'clock in the morning watching movies and then sleeping till 10, it's not Christmas or anything like that. It's, try and go to bed at a sensible time and not dwell on the news before you go to sleep.
So we should go to Mark next, because I suspect that Mark is just like working way beyond his hours. So he's not doing the Netflix till 2 o'clock, but he's probably like working on websites and branding and stuff for people until his eyes don't work anymore.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm trying to do, I'm probably slightly opposite to Amanda in that I still trying to get into the routine and doing exactly what we'd do if we were at work. So I am alarm clock going off at normal time, apart from the fact I'm trying to go out for a walk in the morning and things like that before I start to do anything, although I'll perhaps turn on the Mac first and just check some emails and stuff like that. But yeah, I have been working later than I should be, really. So I need to get out of that habit, which I think when I used to work from home years ago, that was always bad for me anyway then. So I just know that's, yeah, something I've got to work around, really.
Have you done anything that is so obviously you, well, maybe not obviously to some people, but like you play guitar, you're in a band, so you'd have like band practice, and like Saturdays you'd be going to the rugby and stuff like that, which obviously you can't do any of that stuff now. But are you doing anything to kind of recreate that?
Not at the minute, to be honest, no. Although I did watch a rerun of a Saints game last Friday, so they're putting like old games out now. So that was good, really good to watch that. Might do another one this week as well. So Friday night is a bit of a rugby night. Heidi doesn't get that at all. She's like, well, you know what happens. You know we won.
I can't get that either.
So like, could you, I don't know how you would do it, but like, could you be watching it and be on a Zoom call?
Probably, yeah.
You'd normally be going with and having a bit. So like last Friday, some people that Kevin networks with, they had, in fact, Pam networked with them as well.
Where was my invite?
Oops.
But yeah, so, and it was like we went to the pub virtually, and it was like we literally just talked. It was supposed to be an hour, and I think about an hour and a half we just talked crap. But it was like everyone taking the piss out of everyone else and that sort of stuff, and it was really good fun. And so my 14-year-old and Pam's 14-year-old, they're kind of like in a friendship group, and they went out the other night. Yeah. So they were using Zoom, and they were like getting ready together, doing their makeup, got dressed up, and then obviously had nowhere to go. But it was a really nice couple of hours, and actually it was a very, very social time, and it's not the same as being in a room together and having that the hug and the rest of it. But not that I'm suggesting Mark would necessarily hug everyone at the rugby. I guess it depends how Saints are doing, but
depends how many beers.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it's important, actually, how can we recreate some of that stuff we would be doing? Because that's what we do on a normal, on a like 5-6 weeks ago, that's what you would be doing to keep your mindset in check and keep your levels high and the rest of it.
I think you always feel a bit more connected to people in some ways, because the risk of sounding like I have no life, but honestly, I'm probably more in touch with my friends at the moment than I would normally be, because in normal life we're all really busy, and work colleagues and everything else, we've all got stuff going on, whereas now we're all at home, we're all naturally worried about each other. So yeah, like you say, you're doing virtual drinks, there's virtual pub quizzes going on and stuff like that, which are great, and you sort of join in those and compare notes, and people are getting really creative with it, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So what about you, Pam? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm a bit like Mark. I'm a kind of routine kind of person, so I've still got my alarm going off at the same time. I still get up at the same time. I used to go for a run, and like I would go for a walk first thing in the morning and go for a run in the evening, because I can't do that now. And the reason I normally do that separately is because Wallace is a bit crazy dog. He's a hound and he doesn't really like running. So now we've got the joke of doing a run walk in the morning with the dog, which is quite crazy. And because he just wants to sniff everything. So that kind of makes me laugh a little bit, and getting outside before I start work is like really like crucial to get my mindset correctly. And then kind of like the rest of the day, it's just kind of like, you know, I do exactly what I do in the office. I come to my spare room, do my work. I take half an hour for lunch. I go downstairs, and then I come back in, and then, you know, I I shut the door basically. It's really stupid, I know, but it's kind of like, it's my way of kind of like, I'm out of the office for a bit, then back, and then at the end of the day, I shut that door, and I literally shut it so that I don't see the desk. And then I kind of like, I'm back into sort of home mode. It's weird, but it kind of works for me.
I think that's important, being able to kind of go, right, that's it, I'm done for the day. Okay, we might all sort of have emails on our phone and stuff, but yeah, like you, I kind of need a space that is a workspace, and I try and make sure that's not, at least not the kind of the main living area. So laptop stays, a lot of us are kind of juggling. So I'm you can see I'm in my little office today. Sometimes my husband needs to be in here, so I might be in the kitchen, but on the whole, at the end of the day, we shut it down, that's it, and then that's time that we actually hang out together. So really, and even though we're in the same house, I'm not spending much time with my husband during the day, because I'm working and doing stuff with you guys, or one of us will take the dog for a walk.
It's because she doesn't like him.
I think it's been more the other way around. He's found so many jobs that I didn't know needed doing. I'm not telling him to do them, but the shower's been resealed, the windows have been, everything has gotten done. So it's just because he's like, I don't want to hang out with you, love. Rude.
It's that feeling of accomplishment is really important for me. Really, really, like for my mindset, it is all about what have I done, what have I done, what have I done.
Yes,
and I think that's the thing I've really so the thing I've not done, which I guess is why this is in my head so much at the minute. So normally I'm really, really organised with my to-do list. I know exactly what my priorities that day. It's kind of I've like the last thing I do before I stop for the day is like, this is what I'm going to achieve tomorrow, and I make sure whatever I should have done today is done. And actually, where I've struggled is that I feel like I'm constantly busy and not doing it, constantly busy and not stopping and working late, but then actually I feel like I haven't achieved anything. And it is, I know, if I want to stay on top mindset wise, if I want to keep my positivity and my energy up and all that kind of thing, I have to make sure I stick to that list, stick to that process. Doesn't matter if I get up at silly o'clock in the morning or at 5 to 9. If I don't have that process in place, my mindset is just going to go. I'm just going to completely lose it. And it's funny. I've learned a few things about myself as well.
Like what?
So for example, I've learned how much you guys need to manage me.
We all knew that.
Yeah, but I didn't.
That's not news.
I didn't. So I'm racing around doing what I do, going a million miles an hour, and then I'm in the office and Pam's going, right, so I need you for this, and Mark's going, right, we were going to talk about that, and like, so it's like they can grab me and pin me down. Well, you can't right now. So actually, it's almost like by the time, so there was something I sent to Mark yesterday where I'd asked him a question, he'd answered it, and then I was only just coming back to it, and then I couldn't find the answer that he sent, and I was like, I've got no clue what's going on. And I was like, I've lost it. What do I need to do? And he's like, immediately, right, here's the message.
And I think there was sorry. No, I was going to say, I think there was another question that you needed to answer as well, and you only answered one of them.
Yeah, see? So this morning, so we use Slack, and this morning I've made sure they all know how to use the reminder tool. So when they ask me for something, they can set me a reminder as well. So if I haven't answered, it's going to ping me so they don't have to hassle me.
We did used to use that all the time, didn't we? But it just sort of fell off the radar a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we definitely need to be using that now. But like I said, in all seriousness, it has made me realise I kind of go, oh, I've had an idea, let's do this, and then run away and reappear when I've had the next idea.
Just to put in, Emily has said we all knew that as well.
Yeah, but she's 5 minutes after everyone else, so
That's true. Just wait for that next comment to come in. And there it is. I know that she's just said only answering one question is standard.
Standard.
there you go. But at least I answered the most important question. Most important question to me.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, it's really interesting. It is really interesting, and we've probably not had so many group chats this week. But I've talked to everyone apart from Amanda. Actually, I don't think I've talked to you one to one yet this week. I don't like you as much as the others.
Trying to give you a bit of side eye, but
I know.
it's fine. It's fine. You know where I am. I know where you are. That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know. I think it's really interesting. I think we feed a lot off of each other in the office in terms of like the mindset, keeping our energy up, and all that kind of thing. And now we're separated. It's kind of like actually there's a lot more self-management in terms of that. So, and like I said, I've just some of the conversations I've been having and some of the things I've sort of reflected on or observed about myself, it's just really made me quite it's in my head basically. I actually think we should get someone to do a guest blog for us on that. I think that would be really
on what specific
at the minute.
Mindset or learning about yourself while you're working?
Yeah, just mindset and actually what is available. So again, there's a WhatsApp group that Amanda, you and I are part of. That there's been a conversation in there where someone else felt that they needed to offer someone support because they were struggling, and there were a few links thrown around and that kind of thing to places you can go online and get that support, and social media sites and specific pages on social media sites, that kind of thing. I think that it would actually be a really useful piece of content right now for a lot of people.
I think there was a book that you recommended to me, Christina, which I read, called How to Be Effing
Awesome.
Yeah,
Dan Meredith.
Dan Meredith. I couldn't remember who the author was. And I listened to it because I do Audible quite a lot, and even though to me it was a little bit too gung ho and testosterone for me, so some of it was a bit like, oh, whatever. But he is very successful, and there was some really good tips in it. And that one about not being too attached to an alarm is because I would often wait. If I didn't get up when I thought I should, I would think I was already in a bad mindset for the day, because I'd already think you are late, you're behind, you're not going to achieve what you need to today. So once I got rid of that, I'm still waking up, but anywhere from 6:30 to 8, depending on what I've been doing, but I'm still up at a reasonable time. On the to-do list, he talked about making sure you achieve some things. We've all probably still got massive to-do lists, and then even in that, we're now going, oh, and I need to do my online yoga or my fitness workout with so and so. So your to-do list is, and I should be writing King Lear because that's what Shakespeare did while he was in isolation. It's just like, don't be ridiculous. But if you've got 3 or 4 core things that you just think, this is what I need to achieve today, and you can tick some, if not all of them off, and then know what you've got to do tomorrow, as you say, that gives you a sense that you are still being productive. This is not a normal situation for anybody, but if you still feel like you're being productive, and Christina, you were saying, I feel like I haven't achieved anything. We're not 2 weeks into this, we're like a week and a half into this. We've already changed so much of the business model. We've, Pam's all over the coaching group. We're offering different things. Mark's still delivering websites. There's so much we've kind of changed in 10 days, basically.
I know, just so much longer. I don't know.
Because to be fair, we kind of moved to being at home
before.
We've almost been a week ahead of it. So
it's like 3 weeks, isn't it? That's
so it just feels it's funny. It's funny, but it's I have to say, it's like we are all in it together, but I'm sick of seeing that as a phrase now. Um,
if someone does keep calm and carry on, you just want to punch them.
Strive and thrive. Or strive to survive, or strive and survive. And unprecedented.
Oh yeah,
Unprecedented.
Banning that word.
start an email with
Banning
we're
that
in
word.
unprecedented times.
Yeah.
Unprecedented times. Yeah, that is one that crops up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I keep thinking from a marketing perspective, what words are we going to use in a week's time or 2 weeks' time? Let's start using those now and just try and stay ahead of things.
Mm.
But yeah, it's interesting, definitely interesting. So, right, have you guys got anything else? Is there anything useful we can share from a marketing perspective? What have we seen this week?
I had a great tip earlier. Sorry, you can tell I haven't really been out much because I'm really chatty today. I'm like a puppy that hasn't seen this one. Talk to me. So small businesses, if you're putting your invoices out there, when somebody pays the invoice, you can go back and say thank you, even though they're paying their invoice they're due to. But by kind of saying, look, by paying your invoice on time, you've enabled me to keep going. It's really difficult out here. So it kind of gives back a warm, fuzzy feeling to the customer to say, I value you. I not just value your customer, I value the fact you've paid on time or you've paid up front or something like that, because it enables me and my team to keep going. So it's kind of creating a bit of a warm, fuzzy feeling. So
I love that. That's really nice.
I think I thought that was a really nice touch, actually. So, less marketing-y, but more PR, I suppose.
No, I was on a networking session yesterday, and one of the guys there, I just thought it was really lovely, said that he was basically just phoning up all of his clients that he'd had in the last year, not to sell, but just to say, hey, how are you doing? A bit like what you were saying last week about the I don't know, the roulette thing where you were scrolling your phone and saying, and he was doing that with customers. He said, I'm not selling, I'm just phoning to say, how are you doing? I thought that was lovely. But I know it's not really marketing, is it? But it's still a lovely idea.
Do you know, it's like right now, marketing is nurture, nurture, nurture.
Mm. Oh, I did see some people are still getting it quite wrong though. I did see something on Facebook where it was I won't name and shame, partially because I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was like a holiday camp that said they were doing a competition for where an NHS or key worker could win a week at their campsite, whatever. All you had to do was like the post, share it, tag somebody in, and then they would win. I was thinking that's no different from an average competition, and you're just putting in that it's for NHS key workers and you're trying to capitalize, and it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I was thinking, I'm probably not the only person that has thought that. I'm sure there's some other people that will probably go, oh well, that's lovely, but equally there's some that will just see right through it and say, you're literally just doing this to get engagement. You're not giving something away for nothing. You're doing it to get some visibility. So it's like there's some people doing it spot on and doing the right thing and nurturing, and as you say, doing the kind of checking in with people, but other people just still not getting it right.
Yeah. Pam, you picked up on LinkedIn earlier, didn't you? I've been in calls all day, so I haven't read the article properly. I've just seen a little bit of noise in between things.
Yeah, you did say there was restrictions, but yeah, there was. LinkedIn had promoted to say that they were from today allowing anyone who's recruiting for essential workers, and it gave like a brief list of what the essential workers are. It was going to be free to post those jobs on LinkedIn, which I thought was fantastic for
so
for
I
recruiters.
think they've maxed it on 10 vacancies per brand, but it is essentially, it's like the key worker type job roles. But it's so LinkedIn have done that. I haven't seen LinkedIn announce anything about any funds or anything like that they're sort of making available. Obviously, I think I talked about Google last week. They're going to be giving credits to anyone that's run ads in the last however many months. But Facebook also have created a fund for small businesses, basically. What we should probably do is dig out that link and post it underneath in the comments, because basically at the minute you just register for this thing, and then once they officially roll it out, you'll get an email, and then you can put in a claim for, you know, and it might be, the idea is you can use the cash for anything. So you might use it for paying your rent on your office, or you might use it as a credit against Facebook ads. So I think that's quite interesting. I can't remember the figure they put on it. It was sort of last week that was announced. So it's definitely worth looking and registering for that as well. And then the other thing is, we're kind of, you know, officially, I guess we're about 2 weeks into what everyone's kind of talking about as being a minimum 3-month period. But maybe we can, you know, have you got a plan in place for when you bounce back? So once things have lifted and you know that the people you're supplying, people you're selling to, are going to be back in a position to, you know, be full throttle and buy and that kind of thing, get something in place now. And it might be things like print campaigns. You know, just think a little bit differently. What touch points can you put in place so that as soon as you start to see things moving and those opportunities opening up, actually you can get in touch with all those sort of suspect clients in your pipeline, and, you know, start that sort of sequence then of nurturing those, and be ahead of your competitors.
I had an odd thought this morning. Maybe I shouldn't share this live, but but I will.
God help us.
I was just brushing my hair, and I was thinking, my God, when we get back on top, how busy are these hairdressers going to be? I mean, my roots are going to be shocking. That was my thought for the day. I was like, you know, be like, you won't be able to get an appointment, will you?
It's like, you know,
It's funny, I haven't really thought about that. My hairdresser's still working.
Yeah, but you're growing a beard there.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
lockdown beards
you'll be
on.
Gans off by the time I get this.
Till I can get back in a pub, this is not coming off.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I was like, oh my God, my roots. I mean, yeah, I could buy a kit, but it's not going to be the same. It's going to be.
But you know, but that's the thing. You think like a hairdresser, you know, they've had to shut the doors. What are they going to do? Actually, like the tutorial videos. This is, you know, it's like, this is how you cut your fringe so that you don't end up like wonky woo, and, you know, like little tips for when you are doing your roots yourself. It's like, that's fantastic content right now.
I know.
And I would be, we don't have any hairdresser clients, do we? So but, you know, I would be like phone, email, creating BIP, you know, getting people to subscribe for BIP lists so that, you know, once we're back in business, you're going to have access to the first available appointments and stuff. You
nice,
know, and
nice
things,
idea.
you know,
Yeah.
things like that. You know, actually, with all this stuff, people are going to be, you know, I'm not very on it when it comes to getting my hair done and stuff like that. But, you know, it's people that do go like every 6 weeks on the dot probably are thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And they want to be in there as soon as the doors are open. Actually, you can then get those people in. You know, could they be paying for that privilege now? Could they almost be paying in advance, which will actually help some of those salons stay in business as well? You know, or like I said, it's the thing with this is that business still needs to happen. So money still needs to be changing hands to ensure, you know, we're all in this together. Well, we all need to be
unprecedented times.
Yeah, in these unprecedented times, when we're all in this together, in order to survive and thrive, we need to be paying each other for the services.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to keep the money flowing.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah,
there's a lot of people buying vouchers. So whether that's for salons, whether it's for, you know, hotels, restaurants that, you know, you're going to go back to, pubs, whatever. You know, people are trying to do what they can to help support those businesses. But equally, I'm thinking, well, they'll get the cash now, and then in 6-12 months time, whatever, when they open, they won't get the cash then, but then they've got to fulfill everything. So which is tricky. But I'm not saying it's not a good idea for them to offer vouchers. I think that's kind of all they can do at the moment, as you say, home tutorials as well. I know we've got we don't have any salons on as clients, but we've got various hospitality and sort of hotels or residences. I mean, Airbnb obviously have had a bit of a a nightmare as well. And I think they got in hot water for not supporting their hosts. I don't know what the term is they use, but rectified it now. But
Yeah.
the IP list is a great idea.
Yeah. You know, and it is, and it
Why
also
you work in marketing, isn't it?
didn't like to say. Yeah, but you know, it is that, but it's also managing the demand, because that, you know, that week they're going to be crazy on the phones.
Yeah. There's going to be plenty of people that are still reticent and want to stay away, but equally, I mean, now there are people that are, you know, as you say, they don't really grasp what's going on in the wider world, but they do grasp the fact that their nails are growing out. So
I don't even show you my right now.
Nobody wants to see that, Pam.
It's like, it's not good. It's not good at all. I know. I just thought I'd like to add that my mother did phone me to say, I can see that people are going to use these tutorials to cut their own hair. May I suggest that you don't? And I was like, oh, okay. What?
she doesn't have faith in you, then, clearly.
And don't do it on your children either. And I was like,
Excuse
right,
me, that's
she
maybe
has
not.
little faith in me.
You know what? So talking about mums and dads and things. So I talk to my mum a lot. Like, you know, it's like, even when we visit, most of the time I talk to my mum rather than my dad. Text messages, phone calls, FaceTime, Facebook Messenger. It's always my mum, my mum, my mum. Quite often it'll be like, hi mum, can you tell dad this? And I suddenly realised last night, since all this has happened, I haven't spoken to my mum at all. And I've spoken to my dad a few times and messages, and she's like been in the room whilst I've been talking to my dad, but I've not actually spoken to her. So I sent her a message this morning. And she's a key worker in that she works for the government. So so she is still having to go out there and, you know, deal with people and their germs and that sort of stuff. So
Go Moda.
yeah, I'm
She's
sorry, mummy.
She's a celeb in her own right.
To be fair, I did send a message that basically that said, "Hi, are you missing me?" She's like, "Yes, I'm fine."
so she doesn't answer all the questions either.
Yeah.
The family thing.
It's a genetic thing. What can I say? Yeah. So there was me trying to publicly say what a terrible daughter I am, and apologise to my mummy, and you just spoiled it. Well done, Pam. Oh dear. Right. Okay. I've got to shoot because I've got a coaching call at 1 o'clock with an IT provider who does lots of stuff in cybersecurity and that kind of thing. So if you need any cybersecurity help, let me know. I've got a lovely company I can put you in touch with.
I'm hungry.
Have fun. Nice to see everyone.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye everyone.